Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Back to Warcraft pre-show here for WGL Summer Day 4. I think we're right on time. Well, we're 2 minutes early, so we can discuss things yesterday. Oh boy, that match of Lyn versus Moon was unbelievably great. So hopefully we get the same quality of games here today. Once again, we will welcome two players to the quarterfinal, and we will say goodbye to two players. So we said goodbye to Alice and Linguagua yesterday, which hurt my heart quite a bit. But great to see Lawlight and Moon qualified for the quarterfinals. And it's really cool to see you guys. The praise for this pre-show is pretty good. So I think we did something very, very nice here. And of course, we're going to get Snowkiss on the line as well as our daily guest, tuning in from Australia. I'm curious if she has some Night Elf insight, spending some time with Remind, of course. And I'm trying to monitor chat a little better. I'm still getting used to this Instagram stuff, and I hope everything is working. So if you guys can hear me, send me a wave or something. Yeah, we have 4 amazing games, and it's time again for the Western players to show up, as it is X-Lord fighting for survival against Focus, and it is Foggy fighting for the quarterfinal against TH, and there's quite some history in Gold League matches. Okay, thank you guys, that is wonderful. So let's see if Snowkiss is ready. Not people joining today. I'm so excited for this. Today we will probably have a guest on our broadcast later tonight. Because we have 3 humans here today. And if there's one person that I would choose to cast with us for the human games, it would be Todd, and Todd offered to be on the broadcast later as a co-caster, so this is going to be real. And I hope everything is working now as we get Snowkiss on the line. The favorite part of my day has begun. Snowkiss, how are you doing?
I'm pretty well. How are you?
I'm a little tired because yesterday after WGL we also had to cast the German Championship. And that lasted until midnight, so it was a 13-hour day of casting for me yesterday.
Wow.
And my voice is it was a big day, and today it's the same. My voice is a little raspy already, but as long as we have Warcraft games, everything is fine.
That's right, because I heard you mention just now that you're going to cast with Todd for the human match, because they're going to get a human match today. So how's Todd doing nowadays? Todd stream on Twitch as well sometimes?
Yeah, he's streaming pretty much every day. He got a Warcraft team that supports him. He plays the German Championship because he's living in Germany. And he's casting quite a bit, so a streamer life plus playing some tournaments.
Oh,
just like Infi and TH.
And TH.
Exactly.
I think everyone have this kind of like casting while streaming, maybe participate some of the tournaments.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
why
yeah.
not just participate in Gold League? We have to ask him to participate in Gold League.
Well, he participated in the team league, and I guess you saw the game against Yumiko, where there was a little bit of talk about the ping.
All right.
I think it's a lot about the ping that he doesn't feel comfortable to play on NetEase. Just like
a Western player as well.
Yeah.
Ping always the issue.
I don't know if we can fix it someday, but yeah, that's the reason, I guess.
That's right. So how's the feeling about yesterday's match? Because it seems like yesterday's match entertaining us a lot, especially the Moon and Lynx match.
Yeah, I think so too. That is the match that everyone is talking about. There was a lot of hype around that match, and they didn't disappoint. It was Lyn with new strategies, with Fascia and Headhunter. And the first game, it looked really, really good, and Moon looked really surprised.
That's right. But the thing is, for second game, even in the interview, Moon said he think he gonna lose the game because he lost his Demon Hunter for so many times in the second game. But somehow his understanding of the game and the late game was super good.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to base race sometimes and kill all those like farm everything. Oh my god, Moon just showed his talent in the late game.
Yeah, he can adapt. He can adapt on the fly. I think in the first game he was so focused on the game that he didn't really think about switching to different units or something. But he got like 2 minutes of time between the games, and then he was like, yeah, I will just play Dryads, and then it works out a lot better. It was wonderful Warcraft. I think it was one of the best games of the year, and I think Grubby called it one of the best games that he ever saw as well.
That's right. And everyone just like, oh, just epic game.
Yeah. And it's really cool to see that the games are not decided by balance or some item drops, but just pure skill of the players.
That's right. And just a little bit sorry for Ling, because I think he prepared a lot against Moon yesterday, but he did extremely well in the first game, but somehow he couldn't take the second game and the third game. But I'm really looking forward to see how Ling can perform in the following match, because I'm pretty sure they're going to meet maybe in semi-final or final.
Oh, yes, definitely. I think if they meet again, then it would be the final, because the bracket is already determined.
Oh, the same bracket, so...
Yeah.
Right.
But the next matches of Lin would be colorful and then Lawliot, so he has to play a lot of Night Elves, and then we see if the strategy is improving. I think the biggest issue for Lin was that he always lost a few headhunters very early, like 3 to 4 headhunters every game. If that doesn't happen, it's a lot stronger.
That's right. We believe so as well. But the thing is Lin going to play the same strategy against Moon next time if he meet Moon again? Because Moon knows how he gonna play.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not a surprise anymore. So Moon has a couple of days to prepare for this. And I wonder what he will come up with. Like, if Moon has 2 days to prepare for something, that's really scary.
It's gonna surprise us, maybe.
With something new, going back to talents again or something?
Or maybe some neutral hero, because you never know. You can't predict Moon.
Oh, yeah.
You'll never say how he's gonna play.
Yeah, we see in Europe sometimes a lot of Panda against it. That could be good. We'll see about that. I was just so happy from when the match started until it was over. I was just pure joy to see this game.
Did you actually screaming, oh, the Demon Hunter was dying, please come back, and somehow would come back, and like, oh my god, yeah.
Do you think it's one of the best games of the year as well?
I believe so. So exciting to see this game, and until the last second, I can't predict who's gonna take this game.
Yeah, especially 1 and 2. Like, the third game wasn't too great. Moon was just too strong at some point, but yeah, the second game is just unbelievable.
I think it was just Ling has a little bit disappointed for the second game, because he feel he took the game already. And I think everyone who watched this game who believe Ling won already. Yeah. But somehow, Moon come back. I think it affects a little bit for Ling.
I think so too. If you're working on a strategy for 2 or 3 weeks, just for a specific player, and everything is working so well, and the items are so well, so he can revive the Torrent thanks to the Brilliance Aura, and even that doesn't help him. Oh man, that must be really, really hard.
All right, so how's your today's prediction? I think today's favorite match for me is Focus against X-Lord.
Really?
I think we mentioned the day before, like how Focus can deal with X-Lord. Even though he X-Lord gonna be fast expansion, is creep law, and how he can deal with it. Because Fly give his answer, Fasir and Harass. Seems like he still has a very hard time to against with this strategy.
I think so too.
To see how Focus deal with it.
Yeah, I think X-Lord doesn't have to change much. He played really well, and if he's a little more lucky, and if 1 or 2 more surrounds are working, then X-Lord takes the game. So he is not in a position where he has to change things. I'm really curious about Focus, if he plays like Fly with grunts, or if he plays a little more like Grubby does with Headhunters. Because that seems to be the strongest counter, and if Focus is aware of that, X-Lord will be in a little bit more trouble against Headhunters, I think.
That's right. Have you talked to X-Lord, like how he's feeling for today's match?
No, not at all. He's not talking much these days. He seems to be very, very focused. I know that he's practicing a lot. Spiral. Well, as I think Spiral is the best orc player in Europe at the moment, so they are really, really practicing hard for the tournament. But apart from that, no interviews. Usually when there's a tournament, X-Lord is really active on social media, like on Twitter. He's always joking around and posts some funny pictures, but not this time. It's serious mode.
Silence means something.
What?
Silence means something.
Yeah. Indeed, of course.
So
yeah, we don't know what focus.
Player, because some of the West player like before have been used to play on NetEase a lot, but nowadays it seems like those Western players don't play NetEase that often. They play on Battle.net.
Yes, something like Battle.net. First of all, I think the conditions on NetEase got a lot worse half a year ago. So usually it was maybe 150 ping, and now it's maybe 180 or 190, and you get a lot more spikes. So it's not only the normal lag, but the spikes, which I think hurt a lot more because you cannot predict them. I think you can get used to the ping if it's always the same, but if there's a spike, it's really bad. And in Europe now, we got a ladder that is really competitive. So 1 year before, if you want to play the best players, you have to play on NetEase, because in Europe, no one has a ladder. So now we got War 3 champions, and all the good European players and all the good American players are playing on that ladder.
Oh.
So you don't need NetEase anymore for good practice.
Oh, I didn't know that. Because previously, like everyone's playing on NetEase, and you can see like Happy, Hog, Cash, everyone had like very top rank on NetEase. Yeah,
I think it's because of that, and the conditions, of course, are a lot better on the European server. And I think since the launch of Reforged, Europe has become a lot better. There's way more good players now. Before, we maybe had 4 good players with Foggy, Happy, Hawk, and Cash, and now we got Blade, who's really good. We got Spiral, who's really good. We got X-Lord, we got Vortex, Van, all these guys. We got Todd and Grubby. Also, the Muslim is back. So the competition is a lot bigger in Europe now. I think it's a very exciting scene.
Yeah, and it's good to hear all those players that come back for Warcraft. I can't wait to see those players who gather offline to compete in the same and fair pay to see how they can perform.
Yeah, we will probably see that.
It's hard to judge online sometimes because you can know the pin issue, distance issue, and everything. If they can compete offline, it's pretty interesting to see how far they can go.
It's already a big issue between Europe and America, because not only Europe is stepping it up, but also the American scene. We used to make fun of them, the Americans. They only play 4 versus 4. They're really bad. But in 2020, we see how great Hitman is. He played the WGL last year, and also in the DreamHack he did really well. And America in general, the scene is on the rise, but we can't really play against them because there's one server in Europe and there's one server in America, and there's nothing in between, so no fair conditions for them. But the first offline event is going to be really, really hype.
So on the other hand, I think ESL is doing pretty well because they have all different regions, and they can have players from all different regions. If they can organize everyone to the offline, so we can see how's Western competing with the Asian and Americans instead of on Go League. Because as far as I know nowadays, we can only see for Go League for those Western players. Really exciting to see there's another tournament. We can see a lot of players gathering offline. That
will probably be in January next year, I think.
Next year? Do you know where is the venue?
It's in Poland.
Oh.
Yeah, that is. It's pretty much the capital of esports in Europe. There's the StarCraft World Championship, is also in the same venue, and the Counter-Strike Championships are also in that venue. So, if you want to hold a big tournament here in Europe, that is the place to be.
All right, I haven't been there. I'm so excited to look at it.
Yeah, hopefully you get invited. You definitely deserve it.
Oh, I hope so as well.
What about the other games?
What's prediction for today? So first game, we have Infi against Fly.
Yeah.
I think you know my answer. I'm going to go for Infi. How about
you? You will definitely go for Infi. It's one of your best friends, of course.
Yes.
It's really hard for me to predict. I think half a year ago, I would say that it's definitely Infi. But I think Fly this year is really, really good. And Infi, I don't know. He was struggling against Focus already a little bit. And I think Fly is better than Focus. So it really comes down to how good is Fly today. So once again, the question, is it the 100% Fly or not?
So you're going to be like a 50-50.
It really is 50-50, but I got a feeling that it's Fly. Sorry.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. So we'll have a battle tomorrow to see if we can take it or Fly can take it. You know?
I would love to see Infi play versus X-Lord. So maybe that's the reason why I'm rooting for Fly a little.
All right.
It would be interesting to see Fly versus X-Lord again, if X-Lord wins today, of course, but Infi versus X-Lord would be pretty hype for the next day.
So your prediction for next game is X-Lord gonna win Focus, according to the prediction for the first game?
Yeah, I think so. Even though Focus played a lot better in his first game than I thought he would be, he is sometimes a little slow to adapt to things, and he takes a little more time than other players would. Like, I'm very, very sure that Lin already knows how to play against Cryptlord, for example, and Fly had a good answer as well. For Focus, I'm really not sure if he's ready.
Yeah, because to me, I feel S-class player, they need to have some creativity. Like, they need to create their own strategy, and they have to understand the game. Like, once you see this, and you immediately come off your head, like, I'm gonna play against this, use whatever strat to counter. But maybe those A-class player, I'm sorry to say, but their lack of like creativity, sometimes they just think like, watch tons of replay, how other play like this. So I think Lin, Moon, they're so creative in these ones.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same as Colorful for Night Elves. Always takes a little time to adapt, and yeah, we'll see about that. What about Group D? We got TH versus Foggy.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah, because in 2017 Winter Final, I still remember because I cast that match, and Foggy and TH was like best of 7, and then they fight for 7 games, and TH won Foggy 4-3. I'm ready to see how Foggy can perform this time, because as you said, Gold League is just a tournament for Foggy.
Yes.
But I think TH's shape is slightly better than Infi, so it's going to be pretty hard for Foggy.
I think so too. Do you think that this final between them, TH and Foggy, was the best final we ever had in the Gold League?
I think so as well.
I think, yeah.
Because you know what? That's the first time, as we can see, a Western player can go into the final. I'm just sorry to say this, but before, for an Asian caster, we were like, Warcraft, this Chinese against Korean. Like, But 2017, as we can see, the Western player going to the final, and somehow later on we see Happy going to the final, and he won the final. So we're so excited to see how Western player can perform in such competitive thing.
Yeah.
So that's why that time I remember so many Chinese cheer for Foggy so much.
Yeah.
Because as a Chinese or like Asian players, so we don't want to see Asian player dominating all the time.
Yeah, and of course Foggy is very entertaining with his boxing. And I think in that tournament there was also a match between Foggy and Czech. And Czech won a map, and he was doing this as well, so there was a little bit of rivalry between, and that was really, really cool to have the personality on camera. I know that TH is practicing a lot with Lawliot, and I know that Foggy is playing a lot with Blade, so they should come into this match really, really prepared.
Yeah. And the thing is, we always can think Western player plays with Western player, Asian player practice with Asian player, but somehow those player style has different. Even though they're all human now, they have slightly different player style. So we pretty much see how those players can adapt to different player style.
I'm looking forward to this. Also, in Asia, we see a lot of Keeper of the Grove again, with lots of archers and tier 3. I think Foggy still plays a lot of more Warden than this. So I'm really excited about this. Like, everything can happen. We have seen Foggy versus TH many times in the Gold League, and I think it's now 50-50 between them.
Yeah. Because I think different elves have a totally different play style. Like Lolaire, he likes to go mass edges and then giant, and Moon like to use dryer a lot. Especially the hero also. and more like KOG and Palm better on the other hand, and his Demon Hunter is slightly not that better as the other hero, and Lolair's Warden, of course.
Yeah.
And Foggy's Demon Hunter. I believe he liked Demon Hunter a lot, as we can
Really?
see.
Against
Yeah,
Knight?
I think Demon Hunter's not bad. To me, I think Demon Hunter's really, really good.
I know he plays it a lot and very good against undead, but against human, I'm not too sure.
Maybe not human is not the best choice because Demon Hunter is kind of weak nowadays.
Yeah.
Just because KOG is way too strong.
Yeah.
To me, yeah.
Yeah, I talked with Lawlight yesterday, and he said human is not too weak. It's a very good race. I think he's the only one thinking that, or
I think everyone thinks other race is strong. I think
yeah,
our race is the weakest. I believe everyone think like this.
true. But I had some comments from some Chinese fans that said in the Chinese community, people think that human is imba.
No way.
Okay. Okay.
No,
Okay, good. I think so too.
The thing is, maybe nowadays, like Infi and TH, they kind of very quiet in participating, like competitive thing. And those Chinese fans always believe in Infi and TH. They go like just because they don't want to win. It's not because human is weak. But sometimes like Infi and TH, they blame on humans very weak. They always complaining about like the balance and it's not stronger as before. It's really hard to counter, especially against undead. And the fan was just like, human is not weak just because you don't want to win and you didn't put 100% attention into the tournament, you know. They always had to argue going on whether human is weak or whether they can't win.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same here. It's like the Warcraft fans, they always love to complain about balance, and the players as well. All right, we also have Chemico versus WFZ. Maybe the match with the least hype. It's not too interesting for most of the players, for most of the fans, in comparison to the other games. But I think it could be really, really good matches, especially if WFZ plays as well as he can play.
That's the point, because as we can see, he did like extremely, we can't say extremely bad, but just like surprisingly me, he did a lot way worse than what I expected when he played against Foggy, that game.
Yeah.
But these nowadays, I always believe undead against human is way too, I can't say imba, but to me, I want to say this, you know.
Yeah, it's
human
very, very hard.
Against undead nowadays, no matter on what map and against what hero.
That's a very good point. The undeads can play normal DK, they can play Crypt Lord, they can maybe even play a Dreadlord. Some Western humans that some Western undeads are doing that. And it's really hard for the human to prepare for all three different heroes and all play styles, and whatever the undead does, it seems to be too strong. Yeah,
because like human player used to like fast expansion, but nowadays the fast expansion timing is for undead.
Yeah.
Anymore. Like undead expansion is way more stronger than human.
I think so too. And then you get a lot of ghouls or whatever. The undead can play pretty much everything. But yeah, maybe it's time for WFZ to come back. I would really love to see him live up to his standard and play like he did in the team league, because he can do so much better, and he seems to be a very, very nice guy. I just hope he has a little bit of success.
As long as he can overcome himself. Don't too nervous.
Yeah, the nervousness, indeed. What do you think about Chimico? Especially in this matchup. I don't think we have talked about Chimico too much yet.
Yeah, I think he tried so hard to reach S-class level, but somehow maybe he has his limit as well. I'm pretty sorry to say, but Chimico active for so long as well, like more than 10 years. And he's still just like okay player. So it's pretty hard to say, because it's really crucial in Korea. The top class player just way too good. Yeah. Like you will feel other than Moon and Ling, maybe Lolair, the other player has so big gap. And if you want to compare Moon and Ling, it's really crucial because they're a Korean player. No one can compare but Moon and Ling. Yeah, exactly. I think it took Lolair 5 years to get close. And Chimico, maybe he needs 1 more year. I am always very impressed when I see Chimico surrounds and his blocks. Like the micromanagement is really, really good. But sometimes his decision making, his macro,
That's not too great, and I feel you need that a lot against Undead to find the right timings, the right units. But to me, Chimiko is still the favorite going into this match.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's pretty good against
No
Undead.
WFC?
No.
Ooh.
I think Chimiko is the favorite for sure.
Really? Oh, that surprised me. Because to me, as long as WFC perform what he should perform, I think he'll take the game. But even though if he performed very bad, like he's very nervous and makes so many mistakes because his DK always die in the game, you know.
Yes.
Like every time when I watch his game, I'm like, okay, DK die.
Yeah, Chimiko's game against TH wasn't too great, but I never feel that Chimiko is nervous or makes stupid mistakes. He's just not that good, but he never makes the big mistakes, and I think that can help him today.
Sometimes I'm really interested to see how Chimiko's face, because all the time, like no matter he's leading or he's losing, his face just seems so stable.
Yeah.
No smile, no feeling, it's just like this.
Yeah, it's the same for Sock, actually. It's interesting.
Yeah. And somehow his hairstyle was pretty cool. Everyone just made a joke about Chimiko's hairstyle, so.
It's like a manga character.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you like it?
Animation.
I hear that people make fun of him because he has a beard. Because in Korea, it's not really common to have a beard, so that's where people are making fun of.
We call him artist.
What? What?
We call him artist.
Artist.
Yeah, this is not an esports player. It is artist. Yeah. So you have to understand. Artists always look special.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, he always finds a way with a beard. I think he's a very special character, and it's really cool to have him in the scene.
That's right.
It's sometimes hard to communicate with him because I think his English is not too good, but he's really trying hard, and yeah, it's always nice to be around him.
He's very cute, actually.
Don't let me hear that.
I always ask him, so how's your hairstyle? Why you make such hairstyle? He's like, that's one of my icon. And I was like, oh, really? You seem like an icon. Okay.
Yeah, it's really nice. Also, like, Sok and Chimiko bring some flavor to the scene. Sok, of course, with a very different style, but you know, with his hat and with his dancing and whatever he does. I'm really happy that we finally have some Korean human players in the scene because that was lacking for a long, long time.
So it's a time for us to have Western human player.
Yeah, we have Blade. He's also a very, very special character. I don't know if you're too familiar with him. He's reaching the finals of the weekly cups against Happy, and the games are crazy. But no one really knows what he looks like. We have one picture, but that's 6 years old. So he's kind of.
So he never like stream or open the camera or like take selfie or post on SNS anything.
Nothing.
So secret. Oh my god.
And there's rumors that he's not allowed to leave the country because he did some crimes in the past.
Really?
Yeah. Oh. But it's just a rumor. It's like Neo talking gossip again.
So have you actually talked to him like face to face? No. Webcam calling? No.
Oh, only text.
Voice call?
No.
No interview?
Text. No interviews. No? Only text.
Wow.
No one really knows, but.
What if you qualify to Go League this time? He has to open a camera then.
Yep. I don't know. Maybe he would say he doesn't have a camera, and he can't.
And the next staff gonna tell you go and buy one. Or give me the address, I ship one for you.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that would have been really interesting, but he only made it
for online tournament though, because as we can see for Team League, there are some players who's struggling for webcam as well. And according to what the rule says, for online tournament, you have to open the camera. So it's just a rule.
Yeah, I think it's very important to have that. It adds a lot, and we can see the players' expressions as well. Like Focus was throwing his hat back, and Moon was so relieved when he won. It's really important to have that for me.
That's right, because it's an online tournament, and we need to see the player.
Absolutely. All right, it's time to get ready for the games. I think we have 15 minutes.
That's
so you're streaming again on Huya?
Yeah, I'm gonna rush late and get my dinner because it's like 7:45 here, and then 10 minutes dinner, and then I'm gonna start stream with Ribeye.
All right, wonderful. Catch Snowkiss stream on Huya, catch our stream on Twitch. It was once again very wonderful to spend the time with you, and we see each other tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.